users. Our topic for today is purchases and bills. Now, I will be using Xero demo. You can go by going on your dashboard, and at the bottom you can see demo company or try demo company. So I will be using that. Hopefully I could tackle all of your questions, and then purchases, expenses, and reimbursement are the most overlooked in every company. It's hard to track down the payments or the cash outflow if it is not on checks, or there's no trail if it is on cash. So now let's go over on our topic today. How are you guys doing so far with our setting up of contacts and sales invoices? So my advice is that you go over first on the sales invoices, because that's the time that it's usually the sales invoices is usually related to bill payments, and they're almost the same. So if you see this, it's really easy. Saw the previous video, which is the sales invoice. It's really easy to navigate on bill payments. So purchases and bills. So it's easy to manage our personal expenses and reimburse employees for the payments made on behalf of the business. So if you want to create claims at work or home or on the go, it is quick and simple to create a fully customized purchase orders, them to suppliers, then copy it to a bill when it's time for payment. Well, usually order is the one that is we made when we want to contact our suppliers or our vendors, and it is similar to the one we made the sales quotation. And nowadays, when you contact a supplier or a vendor, for example, you want to order a book or any items, you usually email them like, dear supplier. So it's much easier to make your order by doing a purchase order. It's much professional, and if you already fill out all the details about your order, then it's just a breeze to make a bill payment or check disbursement. You can go by going on accounts and then purchases, and then by clicking the down arrow of new, you will notice that it will look the same as the invoice or creating in sales invoice, except there's a purchase. It is a cash outflow. It is a cash outflow, an expense. So you must be very careful, and you must read the headings. Leafy, then you may be putting it on the credit instead of the debit, or to the income instead of to the expenses. So will cover on the bill to enter a new standard bill or new check disbursement, or the repeating bill, which is used to create a new repeating bill where you will need to define the repeating criteria, and then after you define this, you can choose to save the repeating bill as draft or approve, like the repeating invoice, where it is usually means for the if there is an appointed date, or if you want to create and put the bill first on the tab as draft. Usually it is used for recurring expenses or payables. The credit note, so like sales like in our invoice, credit note is used if we want to make changes on our posted bills, or which already have what do you call this, which already have check payments. So let us go over on the purchase orders, which let your suppliers know what you want to buy from them by sending a purchase order. So you can also record the delivery date, the price, the arrival date, and any delivery instructions. This is agreed upon with your vendor or your supplier. So you can convert or create a bill payment through purchase order by it's like copying it to another paper. So if you want to charge out the items listed on the purchase order, then Xero does not so like sales quotation, Xero does not include the order information in the general ledger. So it's just like a draft. So um, not recorded in our general ledger or in our financial report or summary. In the sales tax report is not affected also. So because the purchase order is not posted on any journals or any account when creating them. Understood? Just like the sales quotation. So there's also a record for us to keep track on our orders or to budget our expenses. So managing the bills and expenses. So when creating bill, you can also use the files icon. This serve as our like an online server. This is our cloud. So to create a bill, suppliers mail or account, billing account. I think I discussed this with you on the first video about the contacts. I go over the dashboard and everything on the first our Xero. So you have just upload take a photo from your mobile or files, mailing it to our server here in Xero. Also make invoice and bills here. Useful, especially if you want, especially here in bill or check payments. cash outflow, and we want us approving the payment. We'll go over the supporting documents. So this is you can the link. It serves like our email where you can upload all the files in our cloud server, or just take a photo of it. So it's easy. Receipts, all the transactions, all the supporting documents, and then you can attach it directly to we don't have an uploaded file, so you can attach it directly to our bill. So when entering a bill, go on our contacts, just like the invoices. Or if you want, just search it, just if you know the name. For example, utilities like Meralco. If you are familiar with our recurring suppliers, like here 7-Eleven, so you know you're the one who made the contact, you set up the contact. So that way, ABC Furniture. So for example, in 7-Eleven, so you can just search it here, or you just go on contacts. There, create new billings. So it's pretty much the same as the invoice. Take a while, sorry. Page is not responsive. So there you go, the sales. So just a brief while while our system is buffering. Um, you can limit your user. So I, for one, I am an advisor, so I could see this tab as advisor. If you are a manager, you can also see these reports, contacts, settings, pretty much the same. But if you have an invoice only user, that is suitable only for someone who needs to enter customer or supplier invoices and credit notes. They don't need to have an access to banks, accounts, or reports, right? So this is the only thing. If necessary, you can limit someone with invoice-only access, or even further by giving them only purchase-only access, or for those that is disbursement. There should be a separation of roles or segregation of duties, right? That's basically the control for our accountants. So that way, they won't be able to create or view other sales invoices or customer credit notes. Here, here in contacts, you can create new sales invoices here also. So our topics bill. So what you see, still the same. What did you notice? So pretty much the same as our sales invoice interface. And so, sorry. And the good thing about this is when entering a bills or suppliers, you can also all the inbuilt calculator. So like if you want to enter an amount, you can use like 1 plus 2 enter. See, it's one of the features of Xero. Multiply 12 times 1. So set um you don't need to put equals or anything like that. So let's start with the not so big use. For example, we have our recurring expenses. Okay. See. Someone's for those who haven't viewed the previous video, let us go over the whole interface of bill. So make sure you are at the right window, which is purchase bills. This will be on the cash outflow or on the debit side. So from it's the customer, sorry, the vendor or supplier. The date is the date of check. You want the one that will appear on our check, or this is the date that would be um, appearing on your ledger or the cash disbursement. And the due date, like also the invoice, you can just put on 15 days due or 30 days due, and it will automatically eh, just press enter and it will just show, or just drop down. In the reference, I advise that you put in the billing reference. You can find it on the hard copy that will be you receive by mails, of course, and then just put in the invoice or the billings. And then here is the one I told you. If you don't want to access through the files or our server, if you create a bill through the files, it will show here number one if there is an attachment or not, or you just go here directly, add from file library, which will go over on see see it will go on your server or the files. Just add files, and then you can upload the supporting documents or the bills. Here you have no saved files, so yeah, or just upload files from your computer. It's good to have it as a reference, especially it will help the one who will check or approve the payment. Okay, so items we already put on the new items here. This is our demo content, so we'll automatically put the description, the quantity, the unit price, and the accounts that will be used. And then the tracking. This is for internal purposes. If you want to track the location or the program, if you're in the school in Cornerstone, or just the region for the sales, or whatever you want to track it. Um, just add the tracking option. Then click save. If we want to the tracking option of Xero helps a lot, especially when generating our report or you want to customize it. Now let's go over to repeating bills. So repeating bills can be entered when you receive a number of bills on a regular basis, or want to if you have a recurring expenses, so can automatically creates and save automatically create and saves the bill for you depending on the how you set it up. So new bill or new repeating bill, so you can choose to have the bills of appear as either the draft or on the awaiting payment tab. So I always advise to put it on as draft first, or really sure on, or you know that it won't change, like you purchased an annual cost of a machine or a lease of a machine for like 100,000 pesos or $100, and then you spread it out, meaning um, you agreed with the supplier to pay it 10 months. So mm, divided by 10, and then you know already 100 divided by 10, then you have 10. So it also have the features of the inbuilt calculator of Xero. Then it makes things even easier if you want to add the placeholder to your reference or the description. Here, insert placeholder. I think invoice already also have these features. You can make things even easier if you can add placeholder to your reference and description field. So placeholders are like markers where the content will appear when document is generated. The value on the placeholder will depend on the date your repeating invoice or bill is generated. You can have more than one placeholder in the field. So, like for example, so yeah, weekly, monthly. It's just a note that it is a weekly payment or monthly payment. So let's try an exercise. This is not usual. This is for also good. Repeating invoice is good for recurring expenses or payments, payables, or installment. So, for example, our company leased a photocopier from the photocopier company. So they signed rental or lease when the copier is delivered the first day of the last month. So the lease term the list term is also shown on the bills on the hard copy. So the list terms will state that the the one we are renting, the photocopier company, will send, for example, what's the popular? The Xerox company will send bills that is very much um $60, for example, $60 tax inclusive to us every 2 weeks from the date of delivery. Because of the regular frequency of these bills, you can create a repeating bill. So that's it. So create a repeating bill, and the end date is December 30, December 31 of 2017, next year. So this means um, Xero will automatically continue to create bills until this date and date occurs. So the due date will be the same as the bill date. So when do you usually receive the bill date? Like the first of the month, for example. It is on the paper or the one that is mailed to you. So, and the code for that is um what did I say again? Um Photocopier, right? So the bill date is also the same. So if it is August 1, it is also 1. So it must be the same. The one that will appear. So bill from the photocopier company. Okay. Sorry. So September. Yes, today is August. So it must be September. September. So yeah, we have an error. If there's an error, Xero will prompt you. So the code for the printing, um, there you go, print. For example, there's no Xerox. Let's just go to table print. We are renting a photocopier. So we are going to charge it to printing and stationery. So always check the dates and then the amount. That is the most important thing when creating a repeating bill. So if correct, you can select the approved. If not, the save as draft. You can photocopy. There's also an insert placeholder. It's like you're tagging the description and the reference. So, um, if you enter the dates correctly, Xero will have created some bills using this template. It's like a template with the repeating invoice. So if you want to repeat it like 2 times, so um, you can find this on the awaiting payment tab. To find this, we um need a fund. Um, so let's save it, for example, if we are really sure of this. Hold on. Save. Find this on the repeating invoice. Payment. Sorry. Here. Hey. Okay. So when we are creating or adjusting a repeating bill or repeating sales invoice, the screen will always show a pink box at the top. Hold on. There you go. So there's an error. This. Just make sure. So just an example. You can save it. So here, so you can click this repeating template save. So you, if you saved it as draft or you click see it on the awaiting payment tab. Sorry, it took a while. See cable print. We should be here. Oh, where is it? Just search it. Search it. Here I press. Sorry. That is for the month. Oh, it should be under repeating. It is dated September, right? So, oh, sorry. Yeah, I dated it September 1. So, it's, as I mentioned, if you enter the dates correctly, you will you will see it on the awaiting payment. So you can also just search the meme. So I dated it next month, so it's still September. So the status will show if it is auto approved. So you don't have to worry like if you need to create um like if you missed on payments. This is very important, especially on recurring expenses or because if there's a penalty involved, so or bank charges, you don't want to have overdraft or bank charges. That's what we're trying to do now. Let us go over on the awaiting payment. So from the awaiting payments, one of the internal controls on our cash management, our budgeting, all right, budgeting is very important also to schedule your payments and or create a batch payment from the list of bills. So if you open the bill, you can enter payment details directly on the screen, right? So from here, you can also edit the bill details and use them as bill or create note or new bill. So for example, we wanted to schedule or create a batch payment. Now, a little review. Go to how did I get here? You can go by accounts, yes, and then awaiting. You'll be here. And then click the awaiting payment tab. So you can sort it first according to supplier, clicking the from heading. And then when it is already sorted, you can select the bills for payment. For example, here is Smart Agency. And it is already due. You can see if it is due. And on this column is the due date and the paid, how much you paid already. So it's good to track down and monitor your expenses. So if I wanted to make payment to Smart Agency for our last month, for August and July due date, just select the payments below and then it's you can make payment or schedule the payment first. You know you don't have cash on hand yet or in the bank. So select the schedule payment and choose or the month end, you know, meaning it will be deducted on your bank and then it will be up here on your plan date. The payments now appear here, and then if you connect this your Xero to your online banking, then this will automatically that date. So for example, uh, now they call now you wanted it to make batch payment as for example, your staff got sick and you wanted to make the batch payment already. So here, so for example, you also want to schedule the payment. That's it. Now, yeah, there's a situation wherein your staff got sick or and then you're of course you don't have to go to purchases and then create payments. You can just make batch payment. So just go here the awaiting tab again. Sorry. I'm just gonna show you. Let's say mhm. Let's take this bill for example. So basically, if you approve, if your billing is approved, the individual transactions is that you will make payment, right? So you will create an amount paid and then date here, the date of disbursement or the check, and then which checking account or the which one, and then of course a check reference. I always advise, excuse me, I always advise to copy or to put in the date so that it can be easier to do the bank reconciliation, and then the check number. I know that it will be like redundant. So if you are also tracking the check number issued, or if you want to like have a voucher copy or a check printed, you can even ask your bank. I know BDO or Metro Bank or some bank will have a check disbursement where they could connect your software to your bank account. There you go. Make sure you have the right check number. I know this will automatically generate. And then here is the memo. So if you will see the save and print PDF, it will appear like a check. You can edit it on the settings. So this will serve as your copy or the voucher. Of course, the supplier or the vendor will receive your check payment. This is your proof that you already paid it. So yes, you can set up your checks in the general settings. So that will look like this. So you can put in the structure of your check here, customize it. There will be like two company, one for you, one for the um supplier or vendor, or one for you and one for the accounting or for filing. So it will look like that right here. Now, if you have your bank statement, you will notice that or your passbook, you will notice only that it will state the check number and the amount. There's not much detail about it. So this is very much helpful when for tracking your expenses. So that is the individual on how it is done. Now let's like sales invoice. You have also bill options. You can have it on repeat, or you can make a copy, or you can also, if you already made payment, then you cannot no longer make edit. Limited also. So in copying, I usually do this if, for example, I know that they have the same account to charge, or vendor or supplier. I'll just copy everything on it. I'll show you. The only thing you need to do if you copy it is just edit the date, the due date, or any description. And of course, you have to notice the unit price and also the reference. And when you copy, the attachment will not be, so yeah, references should be different, meaning it is duplicated. So you can save it as draft, or if you have the capacity to approve the payment, you can go in directly. Now, let's go to the easier part. We'll approve it. It's just a demo company. So maybe later I will use it. Go to, I wanted to have a batch payment. So remember, we've already scheduled, we make a scheduling of the payment. Now we have to make batch payment. So go in bills, purchases, or if you're already here, just click on the bills. It will get you back here on the tab, all the draft waiting approval, payment tab. You can select all the transactions. Which one? Here, here, or here, here. Here, if you have, so what we are trying to do is to just have batch payment. This is very helpful if you are the one, if you are the treasurer or you are approving the payment. So just click on the transactions, you click on make payment, and from that you can pay by checks. It will generate automatically with checks, or just create the batch payment. This is just add-ons. It's like they could connect an app to Xero, like an upgrade if you want, but I know it will cost you also. So in batch payment, you can create a so you can enter payment date and bank account details. So in payment date, like this one, We have it all. Make sure that you have entered the account details for each payee. This is the payee, the one that is will appear on your checks, or the vendor or suppliers payable to the order of that. So the details, and then what else? If one bank account is missing, Xero cannot process this batch um, batch file. So I don't have a bank account number. So just for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the bank account number. Put in, and then here same. So this is the bank account number. I'm just putting in figures. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you put in all. But I'm just making numbers, making this up. Okay. And for the details, like you are the demo company, or if this is if this is from the personal account, like that. So don't be confused if demo company. You can put in any memo. It's like a memo. So the checks. So if you want, you know, the details in the bank, like for example, this is a check. Okay, so the payment date. Sorry. So I make it. So if you have the same account, where payment date 31. So don't be confused because I discussed the schedule of payment, right? So but it is not essential to schedule payment in order to create this batch payment. So scheduling payment can only assist you in planning for the cash outflow on or spending your money or the budget. Okay? So don't be confused because you don't need to schedule payments just to create this batch. Now that here, so your batch payment has been created. You can export the batch file to your bank as well as send. So this meaning even so it means you can export the batch by clicking on the export batch, this export batch file, and then an Excel format or CSV. You can see the CSV format or Excel. You can use this file also to upload batch payment details to the bank. Here you go, sorry. So you can use this also to upload in sales invoice, you always have the Excel form. For example, you don't have the internet or you wanted you were on vacation, just do this. And this click send remittance advice to send remittance advices by email, or this will let your supplier or vendor know exactly what bills they are being paid, or they could match it on their billing and how much is being paid. So remittance advice emails are like the one in the invoice advice, right? So if this will also include any other activities such as credits and payments received. So going down here, click here if you want to edit the batches, or remove and redo or mark as reconciled. That's it. You can add notes. Now let's go to non-cash. Are you still okay? So pretty much non-cash payment. From time to time, the sales invoice or the bills may need to be paid from an account to other bank account. So for example, I am the owner, business owner. I might want to be paid from a bill from my personal funds, and rather than being reimbursed, um, so rather than being reimbursed by the expenses that I claimed, I decided to just pay the bill from their loan account. It's so there I have like the company has a loan from me, so they might also be a time when you may pay a bill by just exchanging two items, or bartering. So you want to provide a good or service. So like good against goods against goods, or service against service. So in this case, you can offset the bill against the sales invoice, and the remaining balance is what is either paid or received, whichever is greater. So this is also applicable on our sales invoice. Maybe that's why they're created the contacts to be everything um customer and what's that, vendors, sorry. So so in here, for example, you guys to go to contacts again, this is the first lesson. So say it can be seen here. There is this column, you owe them, they owe you, and you want to offset this, right? Let's say Bayside Club have the company owed them 130, and we still have billings. We bill them 234. So when you view this contacts page of the client, you take a note of this. So when you go here also, attacks. So you want it to be offset. The 130 will be offset against the 234 payable. So when Bayside Club agreed on this suggestion, demo company will offset this in Xero. Also here. You might want to go. You might have enough setting payment. Make sure that you set up a clearing account. The current liability section. I discussed the clearing account in the chart of accounts. So you go to settings, settings. This is on the video number 1. And the chart of accounts. You have a clearing account where you enable payments to this account. And then you show it at the dashboard also to monitor. In our demo company, liability section, clearing. They don't have clearing account. Search. Or in some cases, if they don't have a clearing account, they use due from technical term, accounting technical term. So you need to enable the payment. Enable payments to this account and show on the dashboard. And also show it as an expense claim or reimbursement. So in the year end, clearing account should still be 0 or nil because it is a clearing account. So now let's go back to our tab. Account, sales, setting. Awaiting payment. So Bayside. So in here, in the amount, remember the amount. So you can accept the payment at 230 and then enter the date paid. August 31, 2020. enter the clearing account. Clearing account. And here, just put offset. And zero. And then add. It's up to you if you want to monitor it through Due from our clearing account or any account as long as it will be zero. So clearing account is a temporary account. So we can go to dashboard again, clearing account balance on the account watch list, and this month it is deducted, so zero already, right, at the end. So now that go back to our contacts page, contacts, to be most. So you can view the changes happen in Bayside Club here. Now, so it's so slow. So just go to our reports. All reports. You can also use this to check the movement of your clearing account. So reports, all reports. For those who have access on the purchase only, they will not see this. So detail purchase report, detail reports heading. Here, account transaction. About this, did you remember to pay both the sales invoice and the bill using this clearing account? Just want to use a bank account. So why is the paid the clearing account will be listed in a paid to or from drop down? Yeah. So reports, all reports, and then clearing. That's it. Now, just make sure to enable the payments to this account. Or when the owners of the business do not want to expect any cash reimbursement for items they bought for the business. In those cases, you can also enable payments to the account. That mostly happen. The owners wouldn't want to be reimbursed. So in those cases, payments can be paid to or um, paid to or from, paid to and to from the owner's contribution or draw accounts respectively. So that's it. Sorry. So that's it. You can also use the reconcile screen to offset, but that's also another topic that will be discussed. That's it for today. Thank you very much. So that's it for today. I hope you're not overwhelmed. And if you have further questions, you can always contact me. And I will make a more detailed video for those who have trouble following. Thank you for listening and happy studying. Just go over it, okay? I will email you. Bye. Good night. Good morning.